What's going on, people? Welcome to Matic TV. Out of one stream into another. If you just watched me then, I was just done with Saeed and Statman. Today, we're with the voice of Bobs from Bits and Bobs. He's not got his camera on working yet, but we'll hopefully get that changed and get him in so you guys can see what he's saying as well as what he is listening to what he's saying. There we go. There's the man. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, we're looking ahead to what is going to be going down this weekend. There is a lot going on. We've got the obvious protests, which are going to be happening again. We've got a simple matter of United against Liverpool going ahead. And we're going to just get into what was a ridiculously crazy game of football last night as well. And just there joining in is Jamie as well with us. Jamie, all moved into your house now. All good, mate?
Yeah, we're getting there, mate. Carpets are going in tomorrow, so I tell you, it's been a bit of a drag, Adam, I'll be honest with you, mate. My hair's receding because of it, but big thanks to the missus because she's pulled it out of the bag on this one. We're getting there, mate. We're getting there. Good to be back on anyway. Thanks for having me.
No problem, mate. And like I said then, Bob's, mate, how's it going, pal? Enjoy your week so far, mate?
You know what, mate? I'm not going to lie. It's been a great week. Obviously, we all know the story. You know, from Monday to Thursday afternoon, we all have a great week. And then it depends how your weekend goes with the Thursday night. And for me, it's been a good week so far, man. Personally, it's been a great week, yeah. And obviously, football-wise, tremendous, you know. I've got a story to tell as well, but I'll tell it later.
All right, I'll give chance for stories to come up in a bit. No problem. Yes. Right. Just let me sort out the troll in the comments, and then we can crack on. He was in with Saeed as well. Oh, God's sake, come on, and get your act together.
Thanks for the view.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, stupid thing. Right, so yeah, Jamie, you can turn your phone into landscape as well, Jamie, and you get a full screen, mate.
Yeah, I'll give it a go, mate. We'll see how it goes.
Hey! And sneaking up on the blind side, we've got Keno from the Weekly Armchair Podcast as well. Keen, couldn't have asked for a better week, could we not, mate?
Man, last night I was talking to Bobs, right, during the game, and he
That's
asked me
my
to come on
story.
the watch along.
Oh, he's killing you, mate. He's killing your smoke now.
Bobs texted me last night, right, asked me to come on the watch along. And man, I said yeah, right, because I was just finished work. I was like, yeah, come on, I'll be on at half time. We were 2-1 down. I was like a raving lunatic after finishing work. Kind of had a bit of a rough evening, and then the second half, then man, it killed it. Like it killed all my mood, my bad feelings, all the lot. Like I was screaming and roaring. I think the people I'm living with must have thought they're living in a raving lunatic. Do you know what I mean? Like United just bring that side out in me. Like, but man, delighted with the result last night. We showed fight and determination in that second half, and again, second half FC, lads, it just lives on, don't it?
Yeah, that is it, mate. I mean, you all watched the game last night, guys. I mean, Bobs, for you, mate, what stood out more than anything else in that game in a positive way for us last night? I know the goals were great, but like Keane said then, 2-1 down, we could have easily got what we were all thinking was going to be happening, semi-final syndrome again, but we came out and just played ball in the second half for me, and that's what I seen it as. What was the big positive for you last night, mate?
For me, was the image and the scenes of seeing Pogba and Bruno link up. To basically say, give Pogba what he wants. Because if Pogba leaves, Bruno's off as well, let's be honest. Bruno's came out and said that anyway, like he's not signing to see what happens with the Pogba situation. If it's true, fair play to him. For me, it just shows that if we have our creative players and we have a competent centre-forward, we will score goals. And, man, the magic they came up with, like just interacting with each other, man, it was just beautiful to see. It wasn't the usual give it to Beckham, cross it, rude. Do you know what I mean? It was just the modern day attacking football that we want to see, and it was just beautiful seeing Pogba, Bruno interchanging, and then it'll be Cavani finishing it up. I mean, that just shows you that this is what we can do right now. Imagine if we added to this. So that's positive for me, man. The way Pogba and Bruno were linking up. And also, I've got to say this. We finally let Pogba play with freedom. And I think that's massive for me. For me, anyway. For me.
Yeah. Jamie, for you, mate, last night, what was the difference last night? Because I don't think we've seen us play a second half of football like that. I mean, you could maybe say RB Leipzig early on in the season, but I think last night being 2-1 down, and you know what, it was just like, what can we expect this second half? And I don't think any of us thought we were going to get that, mate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was having a little voice note back and forth with Keane, weren't we? And we were a little bit disappointed, to say the least. I won't say what was said in them messages because they were explicit. But for me, it was just the heart, Adam. Like, it was the will to win. It was like Ollie's chat in the dressing room to the players was like, look, not again, boys. Like, let's not go down this road again. Like, we can't be doing this again. And it was like they just went out with a completely different attitude. And to be honest with you, I was raging that he didn't change it. Like, and he brought Fred and McTominay back out, and I was like, what's he doing here? But obviously, like, the big players just turned up, like the Cavani's, the Brunos, the Pogbas. They just turned it on. And when we're in that form, we're unplayable. We are actually unplayable, and it's so frustrating from a United fan's point of view that we can play like that. Because if we played like that the whole season, we'd probably be champions, you know. But I get it doesn't always work like that. But it was more the heart, determination, and the will to win from that team. Because I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. I've questioned their ability on the big stage when it really matters in these big semi-final games. And have they got the heart for it? And last night they proved that they do. So bigger plus point for me was the fact that we dug in when we needed to, when it was getting tough.
Yeah, I mean, we had plenty to moan about in the first half. Like, you guys were muting there. I'm sure your messages were along the same lines as what was coming out of my mouth, which was Fred and McTominay ain't going to win us shit. That's basically what was coming out of my mouth. My God, it was poor. But like Jamie said there, character came through in the end. I tweeted it out at half time. I went, Ollie has to earn his corn here at half time. And he didn't change anything. But my God, he must have gone into them players and said something, because they came out in the second half and it was a different ball game altogether. So for me, that is just getting over that semi-final hurdle, having been 2-1 down through conceding 2 poor goals. I think just the sheer character and determination to not let that happen again was what came through in that game in the second half. And guys, every time we went forward, it looks like we were going to score. Let's not kid it. It was just looked like we were just going to it was going to be a floodgate, and it did open. It was a competition in the end. I was doing my stream and I was just putting bets on for who was going to get the hat trick. That's how much cruise control. That's what we was in. But I mean, Keane, I'll come to you, mate. Bob's touched on it there. I want to talk about it. Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. For me, there were 4 players yesterday who were at a different level. That was Pogba and Bruno, obviously, Edison Cavani and Luke Shaw. 4 players that I think would probably get into any team in the world. I honestly think that. I think that wouldn't be a problem for any of them. It's the rest of the team that really we have the issue with, because the defence looks shaky. Goalkeeper, well, we have Henderson to come back. De Gea never filled me with confidence, with crosses and stuff like that. But for me, Bob's nailed it. The biggest plus point is keeping Pogba and Bruno playing together, because you can see the telepathy. I can't even say that word. Telepathy. I think that's about. That's right. Yeah, something along them lines. They're telepathic, aren't they? They just know. And if you add a striker to that, like we seen last night in Edison Cavani, who's also at that level when he's fit, then it's a good recipe, mate.
It is. And what I really liked about it was football intelligence. That's what it was. Like, the movement for Edison Cavani was evident during the whole game. Pogba and Bruno having the intelligence to play them key passes. Luke Shaw breaking forward when he could. It was absolutely class. But I just want to say, I came on here Sunday and I said the slack that Bruno Fernandes was getting the last couple of weeks was like uncalled for, because he was doing stuff in the games, as Adam, me and you said, he was keeping it simple. But you know, he took more risks last night, and he done what we know he can do. When him and Paul Pogba play together, they bring the best out of each other's game. You can see that, because these teams that we play against don't have to put all their energy and all their kind of players just on the one player. When you have quality players like a Pogba and Bruno, it's harder for teams to sit back because they know there's more than one key to unlock their defense, you know. So, and then when you add the little caveat of Edison Cavani, who's unorthodox moving as a striker, is probably, like, when you look at a striker in world football, I don't think any other striker moves like Edison Cavani moves in terms of his runs into the box. You know, I think there's not many in world football who can do that. So I think when you have two creative players like that, and you have a Cavani up top, you have the recipe for success. I think when you look at these players, lads, if you get a right winger and defensive midfielder in there, you have a very, very good team. That's a serious team you have, because once you don't have a McFred there, and you have a specialist defensive midfielder who can do that defensive job and is competent in that role, because Fred and McTominay aren't competent in that role, and then you have a right winger to actually give your team balance, this Manchester United team's a whole different proposition if we get that personnel in. So I think last night showed that. I think last night was, even though we scored 6 goals, and that's great going forward, last night showed, though, we do need a defensive midfield player, because Fred is poor. McTominay is not a defensive midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfield player. So I think you have to look at this and say, defensive midfield this summer, do whatever you can to get one. Give West Ham Lingard. Give West Ham Lingard for 40 million. Take Declan Rice. Get Declan Rice in the Manchester United shirt.
Believe me, guys, that's paining Keane to say that as well, with the Irish blood inside him. Believe me, that is paining the man to say that. But you see what is realistic. And Bobs, I'll come to you on the next one, mate. And as much good there was out of last night, mate, we still seem to have the same issue. Keane briefly touched on it there, mate. The shoehorning. It is immensely frustrating, the shoehorning. It's like, I just said it on Saeed's channel before. I said, and everyone knows I like Rashford as a player, but if you're going to play Rashford on the right, you might as well put him on the bench.
Yeah.
Greenwood is better. I'm sorry. Greenwood is better on the right-hand side than Rashford.
It's fast.
And I would put Rashford in wherever I could, but we cannot keep playing players for the namesakes and putting them into positions that just don't suit that player. And for me, that was proven last night with Rashford on the right. The one player who really didn't shine in that front line was Rashford, because he's out of position, mate. Can only get to that next level of management and start being hard on these players and saying, look, Greenwood, he's just playing better. I've got to play him. No matter how good you've done Rashford, Greenwood is just better on the pitch right now.
I don't think it's even to be hard. It's not hard or harsh when you're telling the truth. Last 3 games, it's a telling. Rashford's been the first sub. He's lucky he got 70 minutes, if I'm honest with you. Okay, he can play on the right, because we saw him against RB Leipzig. He scored a hat-trick when he played on the right. However, he's just not playing well right now. So the sentiment between Ollie and Rashford needs to be put aside. For the better of the team, at the end of the day, he's not playing well. And it's very simple. If you're not playing well, you don't play the next game. And for me, Greenwood is a better winger, because Greenwood actually looks interested. And, you know, people say, I saw the comment there, he needs a break and stuff, or people say he's not injured. But some of the stuff he does, is like, well, you wouldn't be doing that if you weren't injured. You know, like, he runs into traffic. He does too many step overs, too many stuff. It's like, just give the ball. And, you know, less is more sometimes. And I think on the right, he's obviously not comfortable. That's my opinion. So all he needs to say, look, on the right-hand side, Greenwood's playing because he's better than you in that position. There's no embarrassment to that. It's a team game at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, he's not getting on the left, because we saw what Pogba does. He's not, you know, going to remove Pogba. That would just be right now, with the way the team's going and the form is, you don't do that. So the balance, he's very fortunate in my eyes to be starting. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Greenwood's unlucky not to be starting. But we know Ollie likes him. Ollie just needs to say to him, look, the last 3 games, you've not cut it. It is what it is. You know, we all know the very most basic statement. You play well to keep your jersey. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Play so good that the next thing in game, you can't be dropped. And I think he's very fortunate right now. He does need to be dropped. You know, I hope we don't see him on Sunday. I know you're going to get onto Sunday, but I hope we don't see him on Sunday and just let others play. Give him a rest if that needs to be. Just take him out. Like, he's not in form right now, Adam. Do you know?
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Protect him. You know, protect him for all the good off the ball and on the pitch.
Well, yeah, it's
season.
Like just as Bob goes in and out a bit there. Bob, your internet's just flickering in and out there. Sorry, mate. I lost you for a second.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right, mate. I mean, I'll come on to you, Jamie, on next one, but Bob's pretty much just led us straight into it there nicely. I mean, we're in a position right now where we can do exactly what Bob's just said. We've got one more important game. Well, besides Liverpool this weekend, there's one more important game this season, and that's in Poland in a few weeks, mate. For me, the season's done, and it's quite clearly done. There's no way that we're not going to get Champions League football. Everyone else is way too far behind. A win against Liverpool this weekend, I think, pretty much confirms it anyway, near enough. I think now it's time to rest these players. It's time to blood the Donny van der Beeks, the Telles, you know what, the Diallos. These players now I know they've got a perfect opportunity, but in your opinion, Jamie, are you confident he will? Or is he just going to keep playing these same team? Because we've seen what he brought in the summer and how much game time they've had, which isn't a lot, mate. Is this not the perfect time now to start seeing what we have got left? Well, we can.
Yeah, I feel like I think Ollie's, to a certain extent, he's a little bit of a creature of habit with certain players, and he's definitely got his favourites, which I do get happens in football. Managers do have their preferred players. But I seen a comment a minute ago there from the gentleman on the screen, Neil Driscoll, I hope I pronounced your name, and he says that exactly that. There's no sentiment in football. It's not the time to be sentimental. It's about winning trophies this season, and I feel like we've got an opportunity where we're in Poland. We're practically dead certs to be in the final, barring an absolute miracle. And I feel like there's players there that are possibly playing for their careers at United, and it's like, when's the right time to see them? Like, I totally agree with you. The season's over. Like, obviously, we've got a massive game at the weekend. We definitely don't want to lose to them. But there's nothing really to play for. Champions League football's done. The big one is in Poland, like you said, and there's no time for sentiment now. This is the crunch time of the season, and we've got to be putting out the best players in the right positions. And I totally agree with Bob's. Like, Rashford isn't in form. Like, he just isn't playing well. I personally think he's injured. And Mason just looks like he's getting better in that right wing position. So for me, he starts. I was actually quite shocked Rashford started there yesterday, because he does. He runs into traffic. His passing ability, once he's in possession, his decision making with the ball is terrible sometimes. Like, and to be that elite player, you've got to start improving certain aspects of your game that you're struggling in. And in finals, you can't be playing players because he's your mate. Like, do you know what I mean? This is the difference with Ollie. He's got to be cutthroat. And someone said it in the comment a minute ago when you brought it up, like, sentimentality needs to go now. It's about winning a trophy at the end of the season. And I feel like for Ollie, it's probably bigger for Ollie than us as fans winning this trophy, because there's a lot of pressure on him from the Ollie Outers side of the fan base that are not too sure he's the right man going forward. And if we win the Europa League and we've got something to celebrate at the end of the season, all that dies down, and then it's all about the summer and it's getting the right players in. He nailed it on the head earlier. Go out and get the right players. I don't think we're going to go for a centre-back because of Bailey's new contract. So a defensive midfielder and a right winger of a level of quality, and we're ready to go next season. So it's imperative that he gets these selections right, and he's got to manage the squad to make sure the players are fully fit, ready to go in Poland.
And do you know what, just to add to what you just said about the sentiment, Jimmy, I agree with you, right? 100%, word for word. And do you know the funny thing is, all this sentiment about, Rashford, we can see it. He loves Rashford. He's one of his favourites, okay? Yeah. But what we need to realise, the same way Ollie will get sacked if he doesn't do the business, Rashford's still going to be at the football club. So all he needs to be selfish on himself to be like, I need to win this now. And I think that is the difference between other managers. They see the bigger picture for the team and themselves. I hate to bring his name up. Josie done it when we were coming sixth. He was selfish with the team lineup because he knew what he had to do to win the Europa League. We know other managers have done that. We've seen Pep do it before with different players. You're thinking, what the hell? And he was like, no, I need these players to play. Ollie, this is the difference. This is not really putting your arm around the shoulder and be like, oh, keep going, mate. No, we don't need that right now. We need the best players in form going forward.
Pep's doing it with Sterling. He's doing exactly the same with Sterling.
Yes.
Like he's leaving him out because Foden and Mahrez are absolutely on fire at the moment, and I think you're absolutely bang on there, mate. Now is not the time to be making silly decisions because you get on with a player. And I said when Ollie took over and we went through our slump where we started dropping points towards like the middle part of his first season when we went on that really bad run, I said if he keeps his loyalty to certain players like the Pereiras and that were playing games, I said he's going to lose his job. So he does need to be a bit selfish when it comes to selection, and if he doesn't get that right, there'll be massive pressure if we don't win the Europa League. Let's be real, like there will, and it's about getting that balance. If you need to put a weakened team out against Fulham in the remaining games, just do it. It's the whole fan base is looking at Poland now, not Fulham at home, you know. So
that's it. I mean, Keane now, Alien's in there with a super chat. Cheers, Alien Bud. When we were in the title race, Ollie was too cautious. It cost him. He now needs to be ruthless and secure the Europa League. Pretty much like what Bob's and Jamie was saying there, mate. Is there a sense of this game this weekend, mate, Keane? Is it the perfect opportunity to see exactly what will happen if you do sit still and you don't make the right moves? Because Liverpool's team is aging. It was aging. And now look at them. Now look at it. People will blame the Van Dijk. It's a load of crap. It is a load of crap. It wasn't the defence that cost Liverpool. It's that front line and the same players playing every single week. One man come in and he's been the best player this season, but the other three are not so much disappeared, mate, but have gone completely down. And he's broke that front three. Klopp has tried to do what he should do, which is try and shake things up. But because that same front three have played constantly and won them so much before, the apple cart has been well and truly upset, mate. And this is the case. I think Klopp right now is I think he's finding that he's been punished for his success in a way. Because I look at that front three now and it doesn't look deadly anymore. Yeah, that may come back and bite me on the ass this weekend, but let's be honest, look at where Liverpool are in the league, mate. This could be what happens. And like someone just said perfectly then, Ollie hasn't got the credit in the bank. He hasn't got what he needs in the bank to start rotating and changing all the time. He needs this trophy. But I think every United fan right now understands top four is done. Ollie, rest these players, drop these players, start playing players in the right positions while you've got the chance to. Because otherwise, we've seen what happens to the best, mate. Liverpool were ridiculous last season, Keane. And this season, it's been worse than the David Moyes takeover at United. And they've got a much better squad. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be careful. And like both Jamie and Bob said then, it's time to be a bit ruthless. I think every United fan will forgive him losing a couple of league games towards the end of the season, mate, as long as he gets Champions League and a trophy next season. Are we wrong?
Not wrong at all. I think earlier on the season, I think what Ollie could have done when Rashford was really nursing them injuries, like with the shoulder and the ankle, he could have played Greenwood instead of him, like on that right-hand side, especially earlier on the season, in around January, February time when we were kind of floating in around the title race. Obviously, look, he mismanaged it at that time, and look, Rashford's still carrying them injuries now. One thing I would disagree on is just that he's off form. Like, he's 20 goals, 11 assists this season. He's our second most productive player this season behind Bruno Fernandes. He didn't nearly hit around Bruno's numbers this season. When you look at their goal contributions between the two of them, they've been productive. So I think that's the only thing I disagree on with that. But I do agree, between now and the Europa League final, I do think Rashford, we need to manage him sensibly here, because he's going away to a European Championships in the summer. Hell or high water, Gareth Southgate's going to pick him. So I think Mason Greenwood has shown good enough form to be put onto that right-hand side of midfield. I think Bruno has to be nursed. I think you look at his form last night. I think we need to be very careful. He's played a lot of games this year. I think Sunday is actually a time where you maybe rest Bruno and Rashford. I know it's Liverpool. They're still on the downside. You can afford to rest Bruno and Rashford. Bring them on after 60, 70 minutes if needs be. But there's no way they should be playing that game Sunday, because we have the Europa League on Thursday, which is, like, again, I know it's a 4-goal slide, but Roma did beat Barcelona by 4-0 a couple of years ago when they're in the same position, and the Stadio Olimpico is a tough place to go. So I'm like, it's more or less done, but I'm still under no illusions, that anything can happen in football. I think Ollie knows that too. So I think if you're going to play him in one of them two games, Liverpool or Roma, you play the two of them on Thursday, just to be absolutely sure that we get to the final, because the trophy is more important, as we said, and top four is more or less done. So I think if you're going to use one of the two of them in these two games, you wait till next Thursday. But I do agree. Like, I think if we beat Liverpool Sunday, like, that's top four definitely done, and it always makes them dead and buried too. I still think we've enough in our locker to beat him. I think you play Pogba on Sunday, because, like, again, he's only back from injury. It's not like we're running him into the ground. Like, he's only literally back a good 3 or 4 weeks at this stage. So you play the Pogbas. I think by fault, like, though, sense of elimination, you have to start McFred, because obviously if Rashford's out, if you're going to rest them, you do that. But I think Ollie has to be sensible, but at the same time with Ollie at the moment, he's under a lot of pressure. Like, the microscope on Ollie is bigger than any other manager in world football. Like, I was on Twitter last night, like, obviously at half time I was not the happiest person in the world. I tweeted out McFred are poor. I was at half time I was just saying McTominay and Fred are poor. That's the only thing I said in my tweet. So I knew if I said what I wanted to say, I get a social media ban. But I went on Twitter and I hit the search bar. That's the first thing I said. Look, I'm going to hit the search bar, see what's trending in Ireland and England. Guess where it was trending at half time last night? I'll give you 2 guesses, guys.
Ollie out.
Ollie out. That man is under so much pressure. And I think you can understand in a way why he makes the decisions he made. Because, Jamie, you coach football. I've coached football. I also play football. Adam, you've played football. Bob's played football. When you're a manager and when you're under pressure, you'll do anything to take yourself out off that pressure. So I think, yes, sometimes he overruns the squad, but the other side of things, from being involved in football, I do understand when you're under pressure, sometimes it's needs must to make them decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you're the first person who's actually said go all out against Roma, actually, mate. Interesting point on that one. But, I mean, Bobs, I'll come to you, mate. Is there a case that we could really stab the knife in deeper, twist it somewhat a little bit as well into Liverpool by hampering them making Champions League next season, if Bobs is actually there?
I'll answer for him. I'll say yes.
I'll pass it over to Jamie. Bobs has just gone to the toilet break or something like that. Jamie, I mean, same to you, mate. I mean, is there a shout for going strong against Liverpool and just pretty much kicking a man while he's down, really? One of our biggest rivals, disrupting their flow as well, because that will affect him next season as well, mate.
Yeah, I feel like there he is, superstar. He pops up. Just do you want to take over?
No, do you know what it is, guys? Keenan, Adam, no, I've got a son, and my wife works full time, and I work from home. So at this time, he just acts up. So I've got to go back and forth. So apologies. No, you go first, mate. You go first.
No worries at all. Sorry, mate. I didn't realise that. I was only having a little joke.
No, don't be silly. Don't be silly.
Nah, I think he's in a difficult situation, Adam, because, like, from my point of view, I don't want to lose to them at home. So it's a case of we're the superior team in the league position this season. We're having a better season than they are, going off of league form and in Europe as well. Obviously, they're out. So I feel like he's in a bit of a difficult situation, because if he does pick a depleted team, which I think he should do to a certain extent, and we get beat 3-0, the fan base is not going to be happy, and the trend's going to be back, Ollie out again, even though there's a bigger picture. So I don't feel like he's going to not pick Bruno and Pogba, and that purely for the fact of like it's Liverpool, and there does come pressure with that game, and I feel like he'll understand that. And to be honest with you, being a player, I've played football, all you boys have as well. If you've just went and put 6 past somebody, and then you're coming back a couple of days after on a high, and someone's saying, "Oh, you're going to sit this one out, mate." I don't know about you boys, but I'd be foaming, like, you know. I'd be like, particularly if it was Cavani or something, I've just absolutely played a blinder, scored 2 goals, practically put us into your Europa League final, and now I'm sitting out potentially one of the biggest fixtures in English football, particularly for Cavani. He played Liverpool at home. So it's a very difficult one. It'll be good to get the other boys' takes on this, but I do generally think he's going to go strong. I don't think he should. I think the likes of Dan James, the likes of Donny van de Beek, let's see what he's about in a big fixture. But I honestly don't think he's going to go weak on this one, purely for the fact that it's Liverpool and the size of the fixture. Forget if it's not a big game positional wise. It's a bigger game for them. But
I hear what you're saying, right? I
mean, Bob's on that one though, on that as well, Bob's though. I mean, Pogba on the yellow card, he's not playing against Roma, is he?
No, and I think what Jamie's saying, I agree with Jamie, but I also a bit of a split personality on it, okay? Because can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, just about come back in, mate, yeah.
Okay, cool. So the Pogba thing, I've got Pogba shouldn't play Donny van de Beek, okay? They're not going to score 4 goals against us, let's be honest. Regarding the Liverpool game, right? Personally, I don't care. And it's the only game, the first game ever, I'm like, I don't really care because we're not going to win the league, unfortunately. They're nowhere near us. Okay, we beat them, they can't get into top 4. We're not Arsenal. We're not trying to get bragging rights like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather brag about that we stopped them winning the league than, you know.
It's our biggest rival, though.
Top 4. However,
they're our biggest rival.
Yeah, true. No, 100%. No, I'm not playing that down, Keane. I'm not playing that down. But for me, I just think, Ollie, do yourself a favour right now. Cavani can only play 1 game a week. Okay? He's just had the blinder. We all say he's a great man manager. Have the conversations and say, look, we have got a bigger, important game than Sunday. This is why I'm leaving you out. I want to make sure of next week, Thursday. He probably will do a thing where he plays Bruno and Pogba, or they both get a half each or some sort like that. He should be very careful. And also for morale, it wouldn't help if he rotated the team, you know? Because, say, for example, he plays a Daniel James, okay, or a Van de Beek. Give them some minutes because they'll probably likely play again on Thursday. Give them some momentum going into this final. And then you can relax. But it's a tough one, isn't it, guys, if you think about it?
Yeah, it is.
It's damned if he don't. Because, like Jamie said, if he picks a weak team, we get beat. We know what social media is going to be like, you know?
Yeah.
And if he picks a weak team and we win, he's a genius.
Well, let's be honest, he won't be looking at social media anyway with the boycott this weekend. So why not chance it and just go for it, Ollie? Do you know what I mean? But, I mean, key mate, someone just did, quickly before I went to the next point, Kelly, dead right, 100,000. It's going to Parliament, people. They have to discuss it now. 100,000 on the petition, signature-wise. That means it has to be discussed in Parliament. So good news, and good that the fans have come together in that number to actually get our voices heard in an important way, because I think we are going to need governments on our side if we are to make any dent in this and how these clubs have run and how ownership is accepted in the Premier League. I think this is the perfect time to hit it and go for it. But Keane, back to the game again, mate. Someone made a great point there, is we can't change because momentum is massive for this club. It's massive for this team. We always do well when we've got a bit of momentum going. So is that where Ollie's thinking, really? We can only guess what he's thinking, but we have had some really good runs this season. And they've all come off the back of one decent performance, and we've moved on off it. Is there a chance to finish the season really strong, just to say, look, this is what we can finish like, and everyone can shut up? I mean, we know he's trying to get this contract extension. We know he wants it. None of us are convinced it's the right move just yet. But is there a case for the momentum and this team, like I think Jamie touched on it a bit then, I'm sure Bob's did, but the comments are saying it as well. Don't change too much. Let's just roll with it.
Maybe like 1 or 2 changes max. Like as I said, Bruno on Sunday, keep him for Thursday, and start Greenwood because Rashford's knackered. And again, that spices it up a bit. But also what it does do is it also keeps momentum because 9 out of the 11 players, 8 out of the 11 players, because Henderson will come in on Sunday against Liverpool. That's guaranteed. Most of the team that played against Roma will be after playing on Sunday. So I think if you're going to rest anyone Sunday, Rashford and Bruno are the 2 most because they played the most football. Harry Maguire, you can't rest him because we don't have anyone on the bench who can do his job, even though he's played like the same amount of minutes as Rashford and Bruno. So I think you look at it and say, yes, you keep the momentum, you don't change too much. But with kind of a longer term view, if you want to win the Europa League, you're going to need a Rashford. You're going to need a Rashford fully fit. You're going to need a Bruno fully fit. You're going to need Paul Pogba sharp because he hasn't played much football all season. Really, when you think about it, he's had COVID, he's had injuries. So, like, I think you keep Pogba in the team now, and you do on Sunday against Liverpool. You play most of the team that did play on Thursday, but obviously just leave out the ones who've played the most football. But we have ready-made replacements on the bench, like who can come in for these. Donny for Bruno and Greenwood for Rashford.
Is Maguire suspended? Is Maguire suspended for this weekend?
I see that in the comments. I'll check it now. I'll check Team News literally right
now.
now.
I know he picked up. He's been picking up a few yellows, but I didn't know if we got to that stage of the season where it gets kiboshed.
Did it already get washed off though? The yellow cards.
I think it did. It did. I think
he's not suspended because I remember I was watching the game Sunday and he had like 10 or 12 yellow cards. But I think I remember they said on the commentary that they've been washed off earlier on in the season.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, before we get into the actual, we'll do a bit of a combined 11 because I know we caused controversy on Sai's channel before by only having 2 Liverpool players. Well, we'll see. It's another United channel. We may be realistic, we may not. But here's a question for you both, for you all, actually. Sorry. And this is it. I've been thinking about this one. You all mentioned it today without even blinking an eye, that it is imperative Ollie gets a trophy this season. So I will ask you this: does Ollie put Henderson in goal for the final?
No,
he won't.
He should.
No.
Is that wrong? Is that being, like we just said then, the weak and not being brutal? Because I looked at De Gea last night and I thought, bag of nerves. That's what I thought last night. So, Bobs, is it a no for you? Is that sentimental?
No, because do you know what? You chose to make him the cup goalkeeper.
Yeah, but you're the manager and you need a trophy, like you said, mate. And at the end of the day, chips are down.
I hear you, and I hear what you're saying. I just think he does need to win it. However, De Gea's been the goalkeeper that got him into the final. He's been the goalkeeper that got him to the final.
Well, actually, no, because Henderson played against Milan's, didn't he?
Well, De Gea played the semi-final.
So
Romero played all the cup games last year, and then De Gea jumped in. So why can't we do that with Henderson?
Oh yeah, that was a bit harsh.
My answer is this.
What Keane said.
I'm
you bottle judge, Jamie.
I just think I'm going to answer it, and I'm saying no. That's
okay. All right, Bobs is out. I'm going to go to Keane. Keane, take it away, guys. Get your comments in on this as well. Ollie needs this trophy. When the final comes around, guys, does he then put Henderson in goal for the final? Because I'm not liking the look of De Gea at the moment. I'm really not. And last night, he filled me with no confidence at all. But do you stick with De Gea all the way through? Keane, where are you going with this one, mate?
Not a chance. Not a chance I put David De Gea in goal. Dean Henderson has to go in there. Like we talked about earlier on the show, the room for sentimentality is gone. Like Dean Henderson makes our 2 centre-backs a lot more confident. Dean Henderson is commanding. He comes out from his line. David De Gea doesn't do that. And especially if you play against a team like Arsenal in the final or Villarreal, both teams were threats from set pieces, we could get done. And again, Dean Henderson's the informed goalkeeper. We're talking about playing players who are in form. Again, sentimentality, you'd be end off him getting winners, man, if we win the Europa League. But Dean Henderson has to start.
Not
in my mind he should start. But
I do not think De Gea. I don't think De Gea is our best keeper. Not this season.
No, he's not. No.
I don't this season. From looking at past seasons, you would say De Gea's got it in the bank, I think. But I still think Henderson has been our better goalkeeper this season when he's played. Jamie, where you at with this one for the final, mate? This is like we said. He's damned if he does. He's damned if he doesn't. It's what being a Manchester United manager is all about, though, Jamie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dropping G-Sun Park for a final. It destroyed Fergie. It destroyed him, but he still did it.
Love the passion, mate. Absolutely love the passion. It's that sentimentality again, mate, ain't it? And for me, in a final, it's all about, it doesn't matter what the result is, doesn't matter how good you play, how bad you play, it's about winning. And for me, Keane just nailed it on the head. He's got that ignorance that I like in a goalkeeper, and he puts his chest out and this is my house now. This is my shirt. I'm number one next season. And for me, that you need that in a crunch one-off game. I really like Henderson. For me, he's Man United's number one going forward. I don't think De Gea's head looks like it's in Manchester anymore, sadly. He did look very nervous for the first time in a long time in a European game. He's been fantastic, but all good things come to an end, and I feel like this is the time for Ollie to be brave. And I can't remember which of the guys said it earlier, but he done it with Romero and put De Gea in the final. So why can't we do it again? And it's time to show how big his balls are when it comes to a big decision, and go with it, and go with Henderson. For me, it has to be Henderson for me. I'm looking at all the comments you're putting on, and they're interesting, but I think some of our fan base does have loyalty to De Gea, and I definitely do. He's been phenomenal, but this isn't the time to be sentimental. So it's the time to win a game.
This is what you get on this channel, guys. I'm not scared to upset anybody, guys. All I have to do is mention Anthony Martial, and you go all in meltdown mode, don't you? And you all start getting soft on there. So get your hankies out. I'm just being realistic, people. Sometimes you all need hard truths. Yes, I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to say it. And it's easier for me to say it right here. I know. And it is not an easy decision. If it's De Gea, it's De Gea. I back him, and we go forward and win the final. Henderson is my keeper going forward, and is, like Alien said there in the comments, is the future of the club. De Gea is still young enough for a goalkeeper, but like Jamie said, I don't think his head is in England anymore. I really don't. It's sad. He's had a great career at Manchester United. He's not won enough, unfortunately, for his efforts, but these are the tough decisions when you're Manchester United manager, especially in the period that we're in right now. You are going to get pelters no matter what you do. You just got to accept that you're not going to please everybody. It's as simple as that. But on that note, we're going to upset some more people right now, because we're going to do a combined 11. Here we go. Okay. And just like that, we're going to go straight into the goalkeeper. So we put Alisson in then.
No. Obviously not. Obviously not.
Adam, you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing there. I
mean, look at it. This season, though, guys, I mean, I think Alisson's had his worst season in goal for Liverpool, hasn't he, to be honest?
But if you look at the goals conceded, I think Alisson's only conceded one more than us.
How many mistakes leading to a goal would be? Alisson had a bit of a run, didn't he, with the City game, and then what was the game after, the Leicester game as well? He just had that moment where it was just like, oh my god,
Comedy Central.
Alisson's lost it. But I'm thinking, what are we going with, guys? We have to go majority. So out of the 3 goalkeepers, because we've got 3 to pick from, because De Gea does obviously come into it.
De Gea, Henderson, Romero, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
end up clipped on some Liverpool channel, yeah.
Hey, why don't we throw Grant into it as well while we're at it? I mean, come on. I'm thinking, I know where I'm at. I would still put Henderson in, because I think he looks like the steadiest goalkeeper at the moment. Burnley aside, but I mean, all these top goalkeepers in this division right now are making mistakes. I mean, Ederson against Dortmund, Alisson, you know how many times he's done it this season. Henderson's done it. De Gea's done it. They've all made errors. We've got to look at it and go, right now, I'm just looking at it. I think Henderson suits our defence better. Therefore, that's why I would put him in to my goal. That's the only reason. I'm not going off quality because they're all very equal. Shot stopping, I would probably still put De Gea near enough at the top of them. But for me, there's more to a goalkeeper's game. Henderson's got a little bit more at the moment for me. So I'm going with Henderson. But guys, you can outvote me. Who are we having?
Dean Henderson all day. Dean Henderson all day.
2-0. 2-0. Bob's not got in quick enough. Jamie, come on, let's snooker Bob in the corner. What was saying?
Dino all day, innit?
Oh, Bob, sorry, mate.
Do you know what? I just think, if we could have got Alisson, we would have went and got him. If we could have got him. That's all I'm going to say. If we could have got Alisson, we would have went and got him. Yes, he had a few blurs, but, he's been instrumental in the past couple of seasons. I know we're talking about this season. Listen, it doesn't even matter what I say. I'm outnumbered.
He's a good keeper, like.
So we move. Wan-Bissaka right back. There you go.
Do you know why I would definitely go with Henderson or Alisson ahead of De Gea? Just quickly. I think in the modern game, the way the game is played now, you need to be comfortable on the ball from a goalkeeping perspective and be a kind of sweeper keeper. And I feel like Henderson and Alisson in particular are very good at that, whereas I don't think De Gea is that great at that role. So
no, he's not.
Yeah,
that's his
like
weak
Bob
point.
Said, we move.
That's his weak point. Big Ron's questioning the decision. This is what we do. I like to upset people. You know it, people. That's why you subscribe to this channel. Which, by the way, just below Jamie there, just below Jamie is your subscribe button there. If you want to click on that, guys. Obviously, give the video a like while you're at it and share on all your socials. We're moving into defence, people. We're going to start with Bob on this one because we just absolutely nailed him there on the goalkeeper. So I'm not going to start at right back either, Bob. I'm going to go in at left back. This is probably one of the tough decisions normally, but this season we've got a guy who's just on a different planet for me.
Luke Shaw, mate, 100%. It's not even a conversation. Listen, subject closed. Luke Shaw is the left back in this combined team. We've seen what he's done. We've got the Luke Shaw that we paid for. Do you know what I mean? This is what we paid for. Yes, he's been unfortunate with the injuries, but this is the Luke Shaw that we paid for. And look, long may it continue. I'm hearing he's getting a new contract, apparently. Long may it continue. Luke Shaw, 100%.
All right, guys, I've seen you nodding your head. I think we can move on, can't we?
Yeah. No
debate. Bob said.
All right, let's do the right back then. This depends because I'm going to give a bit of credit to a Liverpool player now. We did this before because...
Who, Nico Williams?
Everyone's in a Friday mood today. Is it a bank holiday by any chance? Yeah. Did we win 6-2 last night? Yeah. Everyone's bouncing, yeah. Trent Alexander-Arnold, ever since he did get left out of the England squad, the guy's put a shift in. I'm not going to lie. He has been decent. It all depends on how you want to play this game. Do you want someone who's going to handle a decent forward line, no matter who you're playing against in these two teams, in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, or do you want the creator and the speed merchant that is Trent? Guys, I'm not even going to get into this one just yet. I'm going to put the pressure on you. Keane, you're up first on this one.
This pains me to say this. This absolutely pains it. I want to attack.
Here we go.
Mine's an attacking team. I'm going Trent.
Okay, fair enough. And that's the United fan picking a Liverpool player. So, this is what we do, people. Jamie, which way are you going, mate?
Oh, God.
Don't be swayed by another's decision.
This is where you know what? I'm sticking to my guns. Spider-Man.
Oh,
I like a solid defender. Defend first.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna have to be a deciding vote here. Bobs, which way you going, mate?
Wan-Bissaka, all day, every day. At the end of the day, you're a defender first of all.
My guy, Bob.
First of all, you're a defender. We've seen numerous adverts of Trent Alexander one-on-one getting spun like a Beyblade. We've seen everyone just kick the ball, run past him. We've seen him not even be in the picture. when people are attacking Liverpool's back four. Get out of here, man. At the end of the day, yeah, I think there's a reason why Trent's not going. Well, Trent's not been picked because he can't defend. And Southgate as a centre back, you know, we forget he was a centre back his days. He's a cautious defender. Now, Vinicius hasn't had the best seasons, and he rinsed Trent Alexander. Dwight McNeil from Burnley rinsed him. You know, any man is doing a step over and going past this guy. We know you can maybe potentially run past Wan-Bissaka, but you know that slide tackle's coming in and he's winning the ball. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me, 100%.
Guys, I'm not going to go on.
Body language. He's going for Trent.
No, guys. I'm not going to go on one channel and say one player and then change it on my own channel. I'm going to back courage and my convictions by saying if there's a breakaway and Salah's running clean through, I want it to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka who's defending our goal. So I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He has been decent the last couple of games as well, no doubt. And he was our man of the match against Leeds. I understand where Keane's coming from, though. And Keane looks like he's going to cry. But
no, I'm not one bit upset. It pained me to put him in there for the way I want.
He's all right.
So be it.
He's all right. The lad's okay.
He'll do a job.
Yes. All right. Centre backs. Oh, Jesus.
Best out of bad bunch. Best out of bad bunch. Harry.
It really is, because our two last night, guys, weren't great, were they? Let's be honest.
Nope.
No,
I go
Bob's
Harry.
going first. Bob's is first on this one. We're going to pick the partnership, guys. So I want you two, not just one. I want you two.
Harry and Lindelof. Yeah.
Harry and Lindelof. Jamie.
Yeah, like them two are better than Liverpool's two, so I'm gonna go with Bob.
That's it.
Keane.
Yeah, let's make that 3.
I don't even have to vote on this one. But yeah, so far, guys, you all laughed at me, but the team's going exactly the same way as the other one.
United team.
5 players in, and it's all United. Wow. Guys, honestly, we're not doing this. We're not doing this on purpose.
See the Neil Driscoll when he says, "Bits of Jimmy, you're too biased." I don't think we're being biased because
look where we are at the table.
If we're looking at the position, okay, right now, honest to God, Kabach and what's the boy's name? Williams or what? Phillips. There you go. Are not playing ahead of Harry and Lindelof as a pair. You know, and we need to be honest. We need to show a bit of ruthless. You know what I mean? We're telling Ollie to do it, and we can't even do it with a combined 11. I don't think it's biased. I think it's just the truth, unfortunately, for some people.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do something like this being biased. If I think they've got a better player in the position.
I don't think. Exactly, I think we broke it down quite fairly, to be honest. I think centre backs, even Liverpool fans can't argue this one. To be honest, obviously. Virgil walks into this team, but he's not fit and he's the only player. Keane, have you got to shoot off, mate?
I have to shoot off just in a couple, myself.
No problem, mate. I'll just try and get you in first on this next one then, mate. Let's go. What we're going to do, to keep it similar to the other one, just to see if anything changes, we'll go 4-3-3, guys. Straightforward 4-3-3. So, Keane, I'm going to give you one holding midfielder, and then you can do what you want with the other 2. Give me your midfield.
Fabinho, Pogba, Fernandes.
Oh. Exactly what I picked before. Bobs, I don't think you're disagreeing, are you?
Not at all. I'd have said the same thing.
Guys, that is, even if you're a Liverpool fan, that's a strong midfield. Jamie, I mean, can you argue with that? Have you got someone else to come in?
I ain't arguing with that.
No, I think after watching last night, Pogba and Bruno, and then we're looking at what you're arguing the toss between Fabinho and Thiago, probably, but Fabinho, I think, just does a better defensive job. And with the defence that we've got in, I know, mate.
That midfield.
Mate, don't.
All
That's
right.
what we're crying out for, aren't we? That defensive midfielder of that quality to allow Bruno and Pogba to play together.
Right, guys, let's get this front 3 This is going to be probably the toughest one. I won't say what we decided earlier on, but let's see if you guys agree. Jamie, front three, from left to right, mate. Who are you going with?
Mane on the left because I think he's fantastic on his day. I'm going on the right. I'm going Salah. You're looking at me like that for. and I'm going. Do you know what? I'm going to fling a spanner in, and Keane will tell you how much I love Cavani, but he's not in this team. Green with us in the middle.
Ooh. Okay, Keane with the face like that. I've got to come to you next, mate.
I can't believe you put Mane in this team with his form this season, man. He's been useless.
Mane's class, though, mate.
But we're basing off this season. We're basing off this season. How can you put me in here?
Have this discussion on the United channel, please.
Keane's voice has gone on everything. Keane's voice has gone on everything.
I really rate him, Keane. I've always rated him since he was at Southampton, mate. I can't leave him out.
Oh,
don't make me do this on a United platform.
We've got one sentimental pick here now. Keane, go on, mate. What are you doing?
Rashford on the left. His form speaks for himself all season. Look at his numbers. Salah's the top goal scorer in the league this season on the right. He's been prolific. Some games, he's been poor, but when you look at his goal scoring record this year, he'll get you a goal, and especially behind Pogba and Bruno, he'll be supplied. And Cavani up top, no question.
Bobs?
I agree with Kino.
We actually had Greenwood, Cavani, and Salah as ours, because I thought Greenwood's form deserves a spot in this team at the moment. That's what we thought. His goal contributions have been immense recently, but I understand all of them. Jamie's with the more far right activist there with the old Mane shout, but
pace and power.
He is good. He is good. Guys, that is our team. Do let me know if you agree. When this video drops down into YouTube later, let me know in the comments what your team would be, if you agree with the guys as well. But for now, we are done and dusted, guys. That's your look ahead to the weekend. The protests are on. The social media, not a ban, but a sort of boycott is happening this weekend. We are all back on Sunday, though, guys. You know what? The protest and this football club is most important right now to us, and was already set in stone before this boycott came in. So credit to everyone who is boycotting for the rest of this weekend. It starts tonight, guys, so do your bit. We all do the same. Sunday, it's the Scousers. What the day will bring, we do not know, but it's important as a football fan and a United fan that we do actually turn up at least on Sunday. So, guys, for now, we're done and dusted. Enjoy your long, hard-earned bank holiday weekend, people. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe, bottom right there, if you are interested in watching more great content. And I will try and bring some more from Sunday for you as well. And share the video on all your platforms, guys. But for now, we are finished. We are out of here. Take it easy, people.